book lovers, it is G Swiss here, and I really cannot help myself. We're back at it again with another haul. I think the most ironic thing about this book haul is that as I'm filming this, I haven't even edited or posted my previous book haul. However, I'm aiming to get this one out afterwards. In this case, I mostly received a bunch of sets. I even received a manga box set that is quite literally 18 volumes, so that's gonna take up a good portion of this book haul. There are some individual books in here as well that I'm very much looking forward to share with you. I guess without further ado, I'm gonna get straight into this book haul so you guys can see the beautiful things that I acquired. So I noticed a lack of shoujo box sets in the market. Don't get me wrong, there are a few shoujo box sets that are still kind of like available out there. However, there's a severe lack of them in my opinion because there are so many shoujo series out there that deserve so much recognition and so much hype. And I wanted to get a box set of a series that I knew I was going to enjoy somewhat within the genres that I'm most interested in. And as I was scrolling through the Viz Media website, I ended up finding a series called Blackbird that seemed to be a fantasy romance series that fell under the shoujo category. And not only that, I found out that Blackbird, the complete series, has a box set. So I decided to purchase the Blackbird box set. And what I like about this style of box set a lot is that essentially it's kind of like designed like a case, and then there's a Velcro opening just above here. And as you slowly unfold it, you start to see all the volumes in there. So this is the complete series, and I believe that there's an art book that's also very much exclusive to this box set. And I did have a flick through and I very much enjoyed the art style. In my personal opinion, this purchase was worth it, even though I have not yet read it. I just really love the aesthetic of this box set. I know that there are very much mixed reviews. However, I'm not gonna lie, this series definitely from the get-go gave me some Mortal Instruments vibes, mixed with some Demon Slayer vibes, because I believe this might just be an urban fantasy that takes place at around high school age. I'm not too sure, but what I do know is that, yeah, it does get pretty lovey-dovey. I am so excited to read Blackbird and to let you guys know how I go with it. I do want to read more shoujo going forward because I just hear great things about different shoujo series. I cannot wait to read it and to let you guys know how I go with it, and who knows, maybe give you a new manga recommendation. And whilst we are still on the topic of manga, I've only got 2 more volumes to haul this month. The first one being Bleach, the 20th Anniversary Edition, Volume 1, and Way of the House Husband, Volume 8. I have been following the Way of the House Husband series, however, I haven't necessarily been following Bleach as long as many people have. Bleach seems to be the first manga or anime that some people get into, and even Camilo is like a huge fan of Bleach. He constantly recommends Bleach to me and says that I absolutely need to give it a shot. You know what? I can't blame him because I did watch the first episode and I was hooked, and I just need to know what happens next. I am definitely willing to go on the ride, except the very thing that has been keeping me from Bleach is the fact that apparently it ends very abruptly because Shonen Jump essentially told the author to wrap up the series like very abruptly. This all being said, I still want to give it a shot and I still plan to read it / watch it. It's just I'm gonna go into it knowing that it does end abruptly. But I seriously cannot wait. Based on the first episode of Bleach I watched, it seems right up my alley. I'm so excited to continue on with Bleach. Alright, moving on to novels, and I want to start off with a novel that Camilo purchased for me, and I'm so thankful that he did. Last haul, I believe I hauled The Worst Best Man. In this book haul, I am hauling The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. It's very funny because I believe that 1 or 2 days after I filmed the haul, he purchased this for me. The Wedding Crasher was a very fun and entertaining read. I really did enjoy it. I actually prefer The Worst Best Man over The Wedding Crasher, but that's just my opinion. I still pretty much enjoy the second book in this companion series. I honestly hope that Mia Sosa writes more in this companion series because I just really need more with these characters, especially with these characters as side characters. I had such a fun time with all this cast of characters and the families of the 2 main characters. If you're wondering whether these romance novels are worth the hype, I have to say they are. So go read them. And the next romance novel that Camilo purchased for me that is in this book haul today is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hoggle. I have heard nothing but great things about this one romance novel. I have been hearing from a lot of people that if I love other romance novels, that this is like one of the most superior ones and I need to check it out. This one is essentially a hate to love romance, I believe, with 2 unlikable characters. I mean, You Deserve Each Other, I really like the title and essentially what the title means. It very much intrigues me knowing what the story is about, And yeah, that's pretty much why I asked Camilo to get this one for me when he offered to purchase me a romance novel. I mean, like, there's so many to choose from, and a lot of the time I just don't even know. I mean, this is a good problem. Yeah, honestly, he's the best. I'm just so happy that I have You Deserve Each Other, and I hope to read it soon. And the last novel that Camilo purchased for me that is in this haul today is Boss Witch, which is the second book, the sequel slash companion to Witch Please. I really love this series. The series is called the Fix-It Witches series, and as much as I did enjoy Witch Please, Boss Witch is so good in my opinion. It's a romance between a witch and a witch hunter, and it's very fascinating because they are essentially enemies, but also they kind of really like each other. I just really enjoyed the story so much, and I love how it built this whole Fix-It Witches world. I mean, as much as I did enjoy Witch Please, I feel like there was a lack of world building there, but then when you get to Boss Witch, all of a sudden you think to yourself, wait a second, there's like a whole witch society and there's a witch hunter society that is not really touched upon in the first book. Witch Please is essentially sunshine and roses. However, Boss Witch, it's a completely different situation. There's a lot of tension, there's a lot of will they, won't they in here, and I appreciate it because I do appreciate a forbidden romance, let me tell you that. Once again, so thankful that Camilo purchased this for me because I had a great time with it. Now for a romance novel that I purchased for myself, I actually pre-ordered this one and I just read it, and yeah, it was okay, it wasn't amazing. I had higher expectations for it, but I will reread it sometime in the future. So as soon as I received Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, I immediately read it, I devoured it, but it was really hard to devour. It took me around 50% of the book to actually like the love interest. I did end up really enjoying the love interest when I got to know him. However, it's a 350-page novel. 50% of that didn't really have to take that long to get invested. I do still enjoy The Love Hypothesis. I do recommend that one. If you're wanting a quick and easy romance novel to sink your teeth into, to buy into the romance, but also to appreciate how the conflict is kind of like resolved, I do recommend that novel. However, in terms of this novel, it's a different situation. Love on the Brain is a little bit harder to get into. However, it's still enjoyable by the end of it. So if you like a good payoff, I do recommend Love on the Brain. However, in my personal opinion, it does not compare to The Love Hypothesis. This being said, the characters, I'd say, are a bit more fleshed out, but once again, in Ali Hazelwood fashion, it pretty much follows a tall guy, small girl with communication issues. It's getting a little bit generic at this point. Next, I'm gonna bring up some romance novels that are kind of like fantasy romance, except a lot of the time when you go to a bookstore, they're usually featured in the romance section. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels and The League of Gentlewoman Witches by India Holton. So I've always kind of eyed these covers, but I've never like given this series a chance. When I really think about it, I've never actually heard about the series in the community. I don't see many people talk about it, but I hear that people say it's a mixture between Bridgerton, The Princess Bride. I'm not really too sure, honestly. I just hear different buzzwords or different comps everywhere. I've decided that I want to discover it for myself by reading it. What I don't appreciate is the one copy I was sent for delivery is like kind of damaged. I'm not too sure if you guys can notice that with the lighting, but it is kind of damaged. I mean, I got it for 12 Australian dollars, so that's like what, 10 US dollars or something like that. Maybe under that, maybe like 9 or 8 US dollars. I didn't get it for a bad price. I'm not too upset, but that's still a little bit upsetting, you know? Like, I just really wish that this was in good condition, like the second book I got here, which I did not purchase online. I actually bought this in a store. I'm still very much looking forward to reading these books, knowing that I pretty much know nothing about them, except essentially their comps. And yes, part of me pretty much cover bought them. And moving on to more fantasy, I finally have the conclusion to the Kingdom of Sand and Sky trilogy, and that, my friends, is The King Will Kill You. This book is one of my most anticipated releases of the year. I still have not read it at the time that I'm filming this. I'm very much nervous about it. I hope that it's good, and I've been pretty much picking up everything else because of how nervous I am about it. And speaking of fantasy sequels that I have been avoiding, A Duel with a Vampire Lord just came out this month, and oh my goodness, I really love the cover, and I've got to show you guys this because it is stunning. Look at that. Look at that spread. That is just so cool. And additionally, I also like the Merwild fan art that is on the dust jacket flap. I still haven't read Fae Prince. See, I usually pre-order her books because as soon as her books go on sale after pre-order time, they usually get more expensive. Like, I pre-ordered this for 40 Australian dollars, and usually it will go up to being 40 to 45 to maybe even 50 or above. That's why I did it. I'm pretty much paying for these in advance to eventually read them. But it's not only for that reason. Essentially, Elise Kova is one of my favorite authors of all time. She's an auto-buy author for me. I mean, mean, after the Air Awakens series, how can she not be? I cannot wait to read this series, or at least continue on with the Married to Magic series. And also, I heard that there's going to be another book in here about sirens. Cannot wait. And before I get into all the subscription box book picks and the special edition sets, I have to share that I also got A Taste of Poison by Tessandra Odette, which is the 4th book in the Entangled with Fae series. In fact, very much ironically, A Duel with the Vampire Lord and A Taste of Poison are both Snow White reimaginings, and they came out within like a week of each other, which is just amazing in my opinion. You know, Snow White is making a comeback. For anybody who loves Snow White, I mean, good for you. These are romances that take place in the Fair Isle trilogy world. I love the Fair Isle trilogy, so I definitely wanted to give it a shot. Also, I have to show you guys, just like The Duel with the Vampire Lord, this also has some Under the Dust Jacket art, which is very much pretty. And the cool thing about these illustrations is that these were illustrated by Tessandra Odette herself. Yes, she illustrates the covers for her books, and she illustrates the under art. She's a talented writer, a talented artist, talented everything. Oh my goodness, cannot wait to read this and let you guys know how I go with it. Moving on to the Bookish Box picks that I've received. Within the time between my last book haul and now, I finally received my Bookish Box special edition of Gallant by Victoria Schwab. I personally really love the design of this cover and the spread. I reckon that it's really cool. It was designed by one of my favorite illustrators of all time, Monolime, actually signed by the author herself. Some more Monolime art there. I'm at least happy that I have this edition, because as much as I do like the other editions of Gallant in some way, shape, or form, this one is my favorite. And the last but certainly not the least Bookish Box special edition I have in this haul today is Book of Night by Holly Black. I didn't love this book, however, I really do like this edition. I do have to say that the foiling underneath the dust jacket's a little bit underwhelming compared to the rest of the Bookish Box's special editions. However, it's kind of cool that they have a page overlay here and that this book was indeed signed by the author. I do like this cover, and I like the direction that they went with this cover because it looks different from the other Book of Night designs. I mean, in my personal opinion, when I see the Illumicrate one, I just think, what were you doing? I do like the Fairy Loot one because I personally like the consistency with the black. However, in this case, I just really appreciate how different this cover is. I am very much conflicted about keeping this because I didn't really love the book and I have 2 editions of Book of Night. Maybe I might keep it in the hopes that I might give this book a second chance, and who knows, maybe I might see more in it in my reread. And now I move on to my monthly Fairy Loot book picks. So I'm going to start off with the young adult book pick for July, I believe, and that, my friends, is The Darkening by Sonia Mara. I actually started this book and I put it down. I wasn't necessarily in the mood for it, but hopefully I might pick it up again soon. I really do like this edition though. I also very much appreciate the stenciling. I reckon that they did a very good job with this edition. I mean, it looks stunning here. I reckon that this is a really cool, very well thought out and very well done edition. I cannot wait to read this book when I finally have the chance and when I'm finally in the mood to read it. Man, my book hangover is terrible. And in my July adult Fairy Loot box, I received The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. I cannot wait to read this. I haven't yet read it as I'm filming this video, but what I do know is that I now know the synopsis and I cannot wait to try it out. I am absolutely in love with this edition. It's probably my favorite Fairy Loot edition I've received so far in the time that I've been subscribed, obviously. Like, if I was subscribed while Daughter of the Moon Goddess was out, then that would change. But yeah, I don't have Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I did buy Heart of the Sun Warrior though. That's beside the point. Look at the pages. They look so pretty. Look at the end pages. The end pages look absolutely stunning, and then on top of that, the foiling is just beautiful. I am absolutely obsessed with this edition. I will not stop singing its praises. I really hope I love the book though, because if I don't love the book and I love this edition, then that's just going to be super conflicting. And now I'm going to move on to some Fairy Loot editions that I did not receive in my monthly subscription. However, these are some sets that I've been looking forward to, and I'm so happy that I finally have them. First of all, I have the Arc of the Scythe trilogy by Neil Shusterman. This series is one of my favorite dystopian series ever. I am so looking forward to getting Camilo to read it because I've just been telling him so much about it. Well, not really that much about it. I've just mostly been raving to him about it, and I just know that he's absolutely gonna love it. I don't know. I just have a feeling that he is. I've decided to display them with the reverse dust jacket side because I've always wanted fan art of these characters, and we finally got some fan art of them. So here is Citra, and she looks absolutely stunning here in her little cloak. What I like about these editions as well is that they have stenciled edges. Hopefully you guys can see that. That's really cool. They all have scythes on the side. We have some end page art here, and on the naked hardback we have a quote, and then here we have the rules of the scythe, and that is the reverse dust jacket. I'm pretty sure a lot of people see what this looks like on other people's shelves because I feel like I'm in the minority when I they display it on the reverse side, but I just really like the character art. Then we have Slenderhead, which is personally my favorite in the series. I also very much love the color of the stenciled edges here. And then we've got more end-page art and another quote, and then on the back we've got the rules of the scythe again. And then finally we have the Toll. And it's funny because I heard that a lot of people don't necessarily like the pigeons on this cover. I personally do. I like the effect that they have. I don't know, it just makes the cover look somewhat menacing. I don't know, I just really like the pigeons on here. And also I really appreciate that these pages are purple. Once again, more end-page art, a quote, and the rules of the scythe. I really love this set personally. They definitely wowed Camilo when he first saw them. Overall, I'm very much pleased with this set. I wasn't too sure whether I wanted to get a special edition set of the Scythe trilogy. I think it's because I'm fine with my original paperbacks. However, as soon as this set arrived, I was thoroughly impressed. I displayed them like this on my shelves because I really do like the pages, and honestly, it makes me want to reread the trilogy because it's been a couple of years, and seriously, the Arc of the Scythe was my obsession when I first read it. And the last of the Fairy Loot editions I have to show to you guys today is another former obsession of mine. I'm still very much like obsessed with this series, except I haven't recently read it, but I still absolutely love it, and that, my friends, is the first half of the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi. I really love, once again, these character art designs. The first cover, we have Juliet here. Second cover, we have Adam, and then the third cover, we have Warner. I do appreciate this. However, I do love what they did with the original covers, so I'm just going to show this off to you. First of all, this is stunning. The way that they were able to do these hardbacks, like, I do like what they did with the Arc of the Scythe trilogy. However, in my personal opinion, the Shatter Me set is a little bit of a step up. I do personally really love the foiling on these covers. I know that it makes it really hard to see, especially as I'm showing you guys on camera and as I have my ring light, but oh my goodness, they are so stunning, and I really love the stenciled edges as well. I just really love the naked hardback. That texture is just everything. The fan art is everything. This set is so beautiful. I understand why a lot of people were skeptical when they saw the digital mock-up, but honestly, a lot of Shatter Me fans have regret for not picking it up because this whole package is stunning. Anyway, I'm gonna continue to show these off as I'm talking. Like, look at that. That's so pretty. I really love the purple. These dust jackets, I swear, are like weightless. They just fly off so easily once I move them even once. Yeah, wow, I think that this is absolutely stunning. I would display them like this. I mean, like, the hard thing is the dust jackets are so pretty on both the sides that I cannot decide how to display them, but what I do know is that I'd probably face them out because that is so pretty. And then once again, Ignite Me. Oh my goodness. Seriously, I love this quote. Fear will learn to fear me. And I really love the color palette of Ignite Me as well. I've just always really loved the cover of Ignite Me specifically. I think because of the way that the flowers blossom, but also the color green pretty much symbolizing new life. Yeah, wow. This is so stunning. Also, I mean, this is probably one of my favorite stencilings as well. I am just so thoroughly impressed with the way that Fairy Loot have packaged this trilogy and have paid homage to the originals, however, kept it fresh. I absolutely loved the series the first time that I read it. It's been years since I have read the series, and I cannot wait to reread it and to revisit it and to hopefully fall in love with these characters again, because I fell in love with these characters. I fell really hard. And finally, I'm gonna move on to two Illumicrate sets that I received within this period, and oh my goodness, they're both so stunning. So first of all, Illumicrate continued on with the Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I'm so thankful that they did, because I thought that they were just going to abandon it after book one, and they could not leave me hanging like that, because the series after book one had so much design potential, and they pretty much kept up. I really love the stenciling of all these books, and they pretty much go very well with the first one that I have on my shelf. I also love Mer Wild's illustrations of these covers. We've got A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire here. The foiling, I mean, is pretty. However, it's pretty consistent with the original. I mean, they're pretty much like title foiling with like plants around, and yeah, they look really cool. Next, we have The Crown of Gilded Bones, which is my favorite book in the series. This is random, but I just appreciate that the pages are blue. I just like the breakaway from like the warm colors. This blue, oh my goodness, it's so stunning. And then once again on this cover, we have Poppy and Castiel, and yep, we've got some more pretty features. They just look absolutely beautiful. I really like that. You will bow before your queen or you will bleed before her. And then the final book in this current set is The War of Two Queens, which is not my favorite book in the series. It's definitely my least favorite. However, what I do appreciate about this cover is that we have Kieran representation on here. This is the first edition of The War of Two Queens, or like any Blood and Ash cover for that matter, where Kieran is finally recognized, and I do appreciate that. This is so pretty. I appreciate it. Pretty pages. Interesting orange. I mean, like, I didn't think that orange could be pulled off, but yeah, Illumicrate definitely did pull it off. I love these editions of the series. And yes, while I do have a love-hate relationship with the series, especially after The War of Two Queens, I do have to say that in my personal opinion, these editions are worth collecting. And yes, finally, by the thumbnail, you might have noticed that I was one of the lucky people. That was not lucky. Thankfully, I have carpet. I was one of the lucky people to get the Illumicrate Bridgerton set. And when I say that I was lucky, I'm not an Illumicrate subscriber. This set sold out within 2 minutes of it going to the general public sale. And thankfully, I was signed into PayPal, and thankfully, I was signed into my Illumicrate login. Because if I was not signed into those two accounts, there is a very low chance I would have succeeded at getting this box set. I didn't know whether I wanted to read Bridgerton or not, but now I kind of feel like I do. But you know what? As soon as I saw this set was being sold by Illumicrate, I just knew that I kind of had to. How beautiful those pages are already. But I mean, the spines themselves make the Bridgerton house. I've got to move them this way because, yeah, the ring light is not doing this set any favors. I'm going to show you these books individually. First of all, I have The Duke and I, which comes in this beautiful pink. I really like the pink rose here. Next off, we have The Viscount Who Loved Me, and oh my goodness, this cover makes me want to cry. I don't like bees, and I don't like bees even more after watching season 2. Next off, we have An Offer from a Gentleman, which has this really cool mask on it, and I really like the coloring. And then next off, we have Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. I really like the coloring on this one as well. And then we have To Sir Philip with Love. Personally, I reckon that this is my favorite color out of all of them. I just really love the blue-ish teal of the foiling, and yeah, I just like the blue. And then next we have When He Was Wicked. Oh, it's so pretty. And then we have It's in His Kiss, which personally, I reckon that this is my favorite cover design. I just like the diamonds. And then finally, On the Way to the Wedding, which is just beautiful. All of them are so beautiful. I am so happy that I finally have this set. I was actually considering purchasing all the paperbacks from Kmart initially, and usually I have the urge to after a Bridgerton season. So after season 1, I was so tempted to buy the books, except I just noticed that not every single one of the covers matched when I first went out to buy them. And then I believe an Australian publisher published them in like these matching editions, or at least the spines matched each other. And so I thought to myself, okay, I will grab them once they go on sale. And then I noticed them all at Kmart or Target for like $12, and I was just about to purchase them, but then I wasn't too sure. And then when Illumicrate made this announcement, I just knew that if I was to get the set, I didn't have to worry about getting it from anywhere else. So essentially that's how it happened, and I'm thankful that I got up at the right time, and I was one of the lucky few. I mean, with the Atlas 6 Illumicrate edition, I was not that lucky. With Illumicrate, a lot of the time, I do have to take the risk. I know that I'm not a subscriber, so it's not like I'm entitled to these things. However, whenever I can get things in the general sale, whenever they do make it, oh my goodness, I'm so thankful. Yes, that's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. If you happen to stay till the end of the video, leave me the book stack emoji because we do that for book hauls. If you happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Join the amazing community of book lovers. And also, I have social medias. I'm at gswizzlebooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/gswizzle. And finally, I'm at TikTok. I'm at gswizzle on TikTok if you want to follow me there for some bookish content. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.
How did I weigh half and I flipped it in a double? How did I weigh half and I flipped it in a double?